Welcome to HomeKit 5. I'm Josh.
I'm Brayden.
And this week we're going to talk about Hue, Aqara, and Matter. All right, let's dive into the show. I guess real quick, just a programming note. We missed last week, had a little COVID scare. I had to get a test, came back negative. So anyway, we did not get to hang out last weekend. So Hue... yet again in the news, they are releasing a tube. So I feel like they took the Signy light and just kind of like made the base smaller and turned it on its side. And essentially this is supposed to be something you can put kind of under your TV is how they're positioning it. So it's part of their like Hue Sync setup, and it's a gradient strip. So you have like zones of color that it can change, and it's kind of covering that space below your wall-mounted TV, right? So you can have the play bars on either side and a tube in the middle. At least that's what they want to sell you. It looks interesting. Do we have a price on this? I didn't see a price. No. Yeah. So I don't know. I think if this thing came in at like $99, I could see that being super interesting. Knowing that it's Hue, I'm gonna guess it's probably gonna come in more like $149 or $199, but I still don't think that's a terrible value, especially if you already like bought into the Sync ecosystem. I don't know that personally, like I would find this one super useful because our TV sits so close to the like where this tube would sit, and I feel like the gradient's already going to give you cast off, like the gradient play strip behind it for the TV, like that's going to already give you the cast off. So I don't know.
Yeah. All right, Aqara, they have a new E1 contact and leak sensor, which are two separate things. So they have released the water leak sensor E1, and then I believe it's the door and window sensor E1, correct? Okay. Which they added to their E1 light up, which we've talked about in previous episodes with the rocker and the roller shade driver and the E1 hub. So these all work on Zigbee 3, and yeah, we don't have a date on when this will go internationally. Currently they're only in mainland China.
I'm not seeing a price on this.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Yeah, that's a bummer. I mean, the E and the E1 is supposed to stand for economical, so I think this would, to me, I kind of see this as probably following in line with, these look a heck of a lot like their current sensors that you can buy. There's like slight tweaks. Can't talk today. Yeah, but with Zigbee 3, right?
Yeah.
So, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Give us a price. Give us a release date.
Seriously.
Come on, Aqara. All right. Last up, this one, I don't think anyone was necessarily expecting to see this story, but it did happen, and I don't think any of us were necessarily shocked either to see that Matter is being delayed until 2022. So, like, I don't know. If I had to guess, Apple is working to implement this thing into HomeKit. I think they're trying to build a wrapper around HomeKit and like a bridge that works with Matter. And with iOS 15 quickly approaching, they probably felt like they couldn't get what they needed into iOS 15 in time for this to be a thing. Wouldn't shock me if, again, like they still come out with like final standards on this stuff a little bit later from the Matter community or the Connectivity Standards Alliance, which was the Zigbee Alliance. So much renaming this whole thing. It's crazy. I there was a suspicion that we could get products by the winter holiday shopping season, but obviously I think that's kind of out the window with them pushing back the launch of everything. But I still think, this is, as we see thread chips going into things, I think you can kind of future-proof yourself and ideally get a firmware update, and it'll kind of work with Matter. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I kind of see Apple as like the big winner here, because I feel like there are a lot of manufacturers out there that are maybe Apple exclusive, but not usually, right? So most of the time, if they support Apple, they support all three. And then if they don't support Apple, like that's the thing we could potentially gain here. So I still think in the long run, this is going to be well worth the wait, because I think it's going to open us up to hopefully dozens of new devices out of the gate that necessarily we wouldn't have had.
Right. Or we would have had workarounds that would be much easier to implement them with.
Yeah. Like, my hope is, we'll see, like, someone will come out with, like, a vacuum that's Matter compatible. And, I think we still don't officially have a HomeKit automated vacuum. I think you can use, like, you can get vacuums that support Siri shortcut, but not necessarily, like, direct drop into HomeKit. And I don't even think there's, like, a vacuum category right now. So it's things like that I find kind of interesting, and I think it'll expand the horizons of what we're going to be able to see and do and achieve with our smart home, hopefully. Yeah. Well, that's all we had for this week. Just want to say thank you so much for watching, listening, tuning in. We are, I will say sorry about last week or 2 weeks ago. We did post on YouTube, and like the video froze 20 seconds in. The audio was still fine, so we just kind of left that video up. But I'll make sure we check the quality. LumaFusion, I edited on the iPad, and LumaFusion released an update, and then I had a heck of a time getting the video to export, and then it turns out like whatever I was having trouble with, I think it was like trying to read off that we have a NAR box. Anyway, it was a mess. But I'm going to try to copy directly onto the iPad this time. We'll edit there, and then we'll export. Hopefully everything will go smoothly.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks again for tuning in. We will see you guys in the next video.